Hi, and welcome to Hanson Sports Talk Radio. Today we're going to be focusing on basketball talk. We're going to be talking about the Chicago Bulls, the Luol Deng trade, and why Chicago should stay away from Melo. And plus, we're going to be talking about St. Charles North Stars hoop basketball, and NBA rumors, and why Blake Griffin should be MVP. That and more, coming soon. But first, here's a quick message from our local sponsor. Have you ever thought about a career in broadcasting? The Illinois Center for Broadcasting can get you started in the exciting fields of television and radio. At ICB, instructors who currently work in the broadcasting industry will train you on the latest digital, audio, and video equipment. You'll find out what it's like to be on air when you host your own radio show on one of our internet radio stations. Best of all, once you complete the program, you'll have the support of our full-time placement department that will help you find your first job. Just think about it. You can be working at a TV or radio station in less than a year. So pick up the phone and call ICB today for more information at 630-916-1700. That's 630-916-1700. The Illinois Center for Broadcasting, where broadcasting careers begin. Hi and welcome. Well, let's start out with the Luol Deng trade, alright? I mean, as a Bulls fan, I was a little disappointed seeing Deng get traded. I mean, but stuff happens. It's business. It's not his fault. He's a very good player and will be at least for 5 more years. I mean, Deng is just not someone you could sink big money into for the long term. And long term, he's really not the piece that will help the Bulls get done for a title. I mean, he was for the last 5 years, and things didn't work out 100%. So you've got to move on to the new plan. I mean, personally, good teams have to make the hard calls like this. Just like when the Blackhawks shelled out so much depth after the Stanley Cup 1 and 10. You have to solidify your core group and build around it. I mean, Joakim Noah and Jimmy Butler should be the staples for the next few years with a healthy but less dynamic Derrick Rose. I mean, you develop Snell and keep Taj as a sixth man, or you trade Taj. I mean, no one is really that critical to the Bulls team at this point. For those people who think that Deng might come back and haunt us because we trade it inside the division, well, they're wrong. We only play them one more time this year, and the possibility of him even being in Cleveland are very, very unlikely next year. I honestly think this was a strategic move, and I think it's going to help the Cavs. It's going to boost them a little bit, but I think they got him, and they're going to try to push for the playoffs with him. I think they have a real shot. And why Chicago should stay away from Carmelo, that's I'll tell you why right now. I mean, he never plays defense. He can't operate alongside another star scoring player like Rose. Melo will never win a title in his prime. Maybe if he sticks around long enough to turn into a role player like Ray Allen or Derek Fisher, then maybe. But, I mean, he single-handedly ruined the Knicks, who keep digging a deeper hole with moves like Bargnani and Felton. The Knicks are a bad organization that makes poor personnel choices. The Bulls showed they have the fortitude to look beyond the season, which, I mean, right now is undeniably lost. I mean, they'll have cap room to sign Mirotic from Spain next year. And if they get lucky to draft some quality talent on the back end of the first round this year, I mean, they could have good assets to trade away for 1 or 2 younger Dangs. I mean, if Butler can emerge as a real jump shooter this year, the Bulls will be in great shape. I mean, looking ahead into the Bulls draft situation, I mean, it's too early to tell, but a lot takes place in college and the NBA between now and then. I mean, as it is right now, this move gives them cash to bring over that Spaniard power forward, Mirotic. I mean, they'll probably draft somewhere around 13 or 18th, and they should look for someone that could develop into a capable defender with potential to provide some scoring. Basically, another Jimmy Butler or Taj Gibson. I mean, next year they might get 2 first-rounders with a pick that Charlotte still owes them. I believe all the picks from this draft will eventually be second-rounders that the Bulls cash in later in 15, 16, and possibly 17. I mean, you draft for bench depth at this point, so talent evaluators are crucial. Very crucial. I mean, if you do it the right way, you position yourself to trade for guys like Ibaka, Gasol, Millsap, and Bosh. I mean, they're slightly older, but very functional role players that score a little. So yeah, we're gonna take a break, and once we get back, we're gonna continue talking about Bulls.
Hyundai makes some of the most fuel-efficient vehicles in the world, and Patrick Hyundai Superstore makes them affordable. Announcing the More MPG for Me sales event. Shop over 200 new Hyundais with 4 models that get up to 40 MPG highway, like the new 2013 Hyundai Elantra. Lease it for $219 a month, sign and drive. That's a new 2013 Elantra for $219 a month, sign and drive. And every Hyundai includes America's best warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and the Hyundai Assurance. You said it. We heard it in the booth. Don't miss the More MPG for Me sales event at Patrick Hyundai Superstore, 1020 East Gulf Road in Schaumburg, or
click PatrickCars.com.
Elantras, $219 a month, sign and drive. With approved credit, 48 months, 0 security, 0 due, 12,000 annual miles based on EPA estimated highway mileage plus tax tag and title, stock number H3.
Hi, and welcome back to Hanson Sports Talk Radio. Before we went to the break, we were talking about the Luol Deng trade, why the Bulls should stay away from Carmelo, and the Bulls draft situation. Now we're looking forward, and we're going to be talking about the New Orleans Pelicans. Drew Holiday is ruled out indefinitely with a stress fracture. Hi, and welcome back. On Friday, New Orleans Pelicans starting point guard Drew Holiday was sidelined indefinitely with a lower right leg injury. Drew Holiday, who met reporters shortly after Friday night's game against Dallas, said that his injury is a stress fracture in his tibia, which he believes he played with for an undetermined time before the pain led to him to ask trainers to take a closer look. Holiday played 29 minutes of Wednesday night's 102-96 loss at home to Washington. Right now he's using a stabilizing boot to walk, and he said that he expects to be reevaluated in about a month. In 34 games this season, the 6'4" Holiday is averaging 14.3 points, 7.9 assists, and 4.2 rebounds. His injury comes while New Orleans also plays without leading scorer Ryan Anderson, who has a herniated disc. That's painful. The Pelicans are doing not that bad this year. I mean, they're keeping their games close with some of the big opponents. The other night, I think they lost, but they played Miami and they kept it. I think it was a 9 or 8 point loss. For as bad as they are, they hang in there. Now, heading over to my boy, one of my favorite players, Darren Williams. He's gonna miss. He's gonna miss the Nets next game with his injury to his ankle he suffered a couple weeks ago. I mean, he was diagnosed Monday with a sprained left ankle, and the Nets said that he was treated with a cortisone shot in the ankle joint, but he also got platelet-rich plasma, PRP injections into the lateral ligaments of the ankle. And the Nets said on Tuesday that their point guard also received PRP injection into his right ankle and a cortisone injection into that ankle. joint to relieve inflammation. Williams is in a walking boot, just like Holiday, and will be reevaluated at the end of the week. D. Will missed his 12th game of the season Monday because of left ankle injuries. He battled problems with both ankles last season before sitting out a week around the All-Star break in February. And that's really crucial to the Brooklyn team right now. Is that they're struggling. Before the new year, I think they were 10-21 or something like that. But now to start the new year, they're the hottest team in the NBA right now. They're 5-0. They just came off a double overtime win against Miami at home. So they're starting to get on track, and it's going to help when Deron Williams gets back. So I'm looking forward to that. And the Minnesota Timberwolves are still finding it tough to close the close ones. Burdened by failure rate in close games that soon might wrap itself constrictor style around the team's entire season. I mean, they're 0-10 in games decided by 4 points or less, 1-18 going back a full calendar year. The Timberwolves might want to try something daring the next time they have a comfortable late lead. If they find themselves up 6 or 7 points and the game clock under says 5 seconds, they use the timeout to lay a red carpet around the three-point line. Invite the other guys to hoist one final bomb, uncontested from long range, in the hope that they'll hit it. Ideally, there won't be enough time for the opposition to turn that last gasp into a serious comeback. Minnesota will let some air out of what's becoming a burdensome dark cloud over their entire season. It's bad enough that Kevin Love, Ricky Rubio, and the rest of Coach Rick Aldman's squad have been spinning their wheels like a Camaro in a Minnesota tsunami. They're 0-8 in their attempts to push over 500 since slipping below on November 27th. These repeated failures at winning the sort of tight games wannabe playoff teams need come April threatening to fray more than just some postseason ambitions. After Kevin Martin's veering layup dropped off the front rim Wednesday at the Target Center in the 104-103 loss to Phoenix, a cranky Love called out to some teammates for their demeanor. This is what Love had to say. He goes, we can't have two guys sitting at the end of the bench that play good minutes, just sitting there and not getting up during timeouts, Love said, referring to the poor body language exhibited by veterans J.J. Jabara and Dante Cunningham in the fourth quarter. We all need to be in this together. That kind of ticks me off. We're supposed to be a team. It's absolutely right. The Timberwolves are 17-18, are anything but a team right now. Their collection of individual agendas tripping each other up as the franchise pursues its first playoff bid since 2004. So they need to work on their team chemistry there right now. Love also said, it's two guys that we expect more from them. They're veterans. They should be leading a little more. I think they expect more from themselves. I'm not trying to single anybody out, and I don't want to make it bigger than it is, but it's just a team that we need to beat tonight, and we need everybody in there, even guys that didn't play any minutes. We need to have a team and a bench that really is in it together. The tension now is mounting after the 2-point home loss to Dallas on the 30th of December. The game in which Sean Marion's foul on Love's game-tying shot wasn't whistled until the following morning. The all-star power forward criticized the bench for its 5-point, 2 of 12, and 9 turnover performance in 58 combined minutes 5 days later. But, it was Love bricking 4 free throws at the end of their 115-111 loss to the Thunder, with the bench again chipping in 5 points. On Wednesday, the Wolves' second unit won its matchup 29-27, but Love had a poor game. He only had 15 points. He shot 4 of 20. He had 12 rebounds, but just 1 assist. Minnesota got outscored 7-0 over the final a minute 51 seconds to yank that one out of a 17-8 split in games decided by 5 points or more. It's important to act as a team. There's a book that I'm reading right now by Coach K. It's Coach K's strategies and rules to basketball, business, and life. And he talks about how if let me see if I go find that quote, but I forget what it was. Something about if two is better than one, or I don't know. But it's a very good book. I recommend you read it. I really found a liking in it. Very powerful. Talked about how his first official coaching job came when he was 15 years old. He coached his high school basketball teams. Now things were a little different back then. He went to school in Chicago, and that's how he worked it out. He walked into the principal's office. I mean, he went to a Catholic school in Chicago, and he just told the principal and be like, "We want to play in the Chicago Public School Basketball League." And at first she was kind of hesitant and said no, but he provided her reasons why they should be able to do it, and told her that we're going to win, and they did. They went undefeated that year, and Coach K on the book said that's when he knew he wanted to coach. So it's a very, very good book. Recaps his whole life, and I really recommend you reading it. We're going to take a break, and once we get back, we're going to be talking more hoops, especially North Star hoops. See you soon.
There are better things to fantasize about than teams of men. Stay thirsty, my friends.
Hyundai makes some of the most fuel-efficient vehicles in the world, and Patrick Hyundai Superstore makes them affordable. Announcing the More MPG for Me sales event. Shop over 200 new Hyundais with 4 models that get up to 40 MPG highway, like the new 2013 Hyundai Elantra. Lease it for $219 a month, sign and drive. That's a new 2013 Elantra for $219 a month, sign and drive. And every Hyundai includes America's best warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and the Hyundai Assurance. You said it. We heard it in the booth. Don't miss the More MPG for Me sales event at Patrick Hyundai Superstore, 1020 East Gulf Road in Schaumburg, or
click PatrickCars.com.
Elantra's $219 a month, sign and drive. With approved credit, 48 months, 0 security, 0 due, 12,000 annual miles based on EPA estimated highway mileage plus tax tag and title, stock number H3.
Hey, Colin, check this out. Not bad, right?
There's 10 dogs on this block alone that can do that. I mean, a trick's a trick. You can bring it or you can't. Checkers has talent, but she never fully developed it. She's a serviceable family dog, but we're not talking Lassie here.
Telling it like it is.
I got a hamster that can do that.
It works better on the air.
He thinks he's a 5-tool player? More like 1.5.
Listen to ESPN Radio anywhere, anytime.
Hi, and welcome back to Hanson Sports Talk Radio. We're going to bring you some more basketball news. Just before the break, we were talking about Drew Holiday, his injury, D. Will's injury, and why Minnesota needs to get back on track and work on their team chemistry. Well, now, moving on to Kobe and the Lakers and the target return for both Kobe and Nash. Here we go. Hi, and welcome back. The Lakers target returns for both Kobe and Nash, hoping for a chance to evaluate the roster at full strength before the trade deadline, or at least what passes for full strength in their season of health miseries. The Lakers could get both Kobe Bryant and Steve Nash back for the January 28th game against the Pacers. Now, Coach Mike D'Antoni said Friday, he said hopefully both of them are ready. It's going to help them out a lot, and playing a team like the Pacers, high-scoring team, a team that fronts the post really well, it would be a good matchup. Nash last played November 10th. It was only 13 minutes against the Timberwolves before being forced out by a nerve damage in his back. dealing with the injury since last season. Nash appeared to be nearing a return for the lineup just as Bryant rejoined the Lakers for the first time on December 7th. But now it appears, that he's aiming late this month. I mean, the Lakers are 14-22, 6 games out of the final playoff spot, and have lost 9 of 10. They play the Clippers tonight at 10:30 Eastern. I mean, they still have a 7-game, 12-day trip ahead of them before Bryant and Nash get reevaluated. I mean, and Bryant, he's been out since fracturing his left knee on December 17th against the Grizzlies, which came 6 games into his return from a torn Achilles tendon. He was originally expected to miss about 6 weeks. So, that's a big problem. I mean, one of my callers called in the other day, and this is what he had to tell me. He goes, Nash used to be my favorite person on the planet, but Father Time is irrevocably ticking for all of us, and now Mr. Steph Curry is taking over the spot. So people have their things to say, but that'll be a good game, though. Remember that. Pacers, Lakers, January 28th. I believe that game will be on TNT. Write that down. Moving over to high school basketball. We're talking North Star Hoops. St. Charles North Stars beat Geneva on Friday night, a 64-57 win. The North Stars overcame a 5-point third-quarter deficit and pull away for the win. After the game, junior forward Jack Callahan had this to say. He goes, that Simeon loss gave us a tremendous amount of confidence, and we took it into to tonight's game. He said it's a conference rival. It's a big win. They hate us. We hate them. That's our mentality, and I think it showed out there. He said we needed to win after 2 straight losses, so it was a good way to start conference play back up. Right now, St. Charles North is 8-5, 4-1 in conference. Used a 12-0 run late in the second quarter on Friday to help take a 32-28 lead into the break. But Geneva, who is 13-4, 3-3 in conference, came out strong in the third quarter with a 14-5 run to start the second half. That gave the Vikings a 42-37 lead. But shortly after, North would climb back into and behind an unlikely source. North coach Tom Poulin called Callahan a glue guy. He has been struggling with his jump shot all season, with Geneva focusing its attention on hot shooting guards Alec Gatz and Jake Ludwig. Callahan found himself open and caught fire. He hit a pair of threes late in the third quarter to give North a 45-44 lead. The North End started the fourth off with a 10-5 run to extend the lead to 58-51. Poulin had this to say about the game. He goes, we really simplified the game with a high pick and roll, and, they were leaving Jack open because they were hedging. He was making the shots. They're more focused on Gatz and Ludwig, their scoring threats. Gatz, first tournament team at Pontiac, and Ludwig was an honorable mention. So that's an honor because, Alexander was on that team. Cliff Alexander, third-ranked player in the nation. So to be part of something like that is quite special. So they're more focused on Gatz and Ludwig. That just left Callie right open. He was making his shots and they weren't leaving. So we told Alec or whoever came off that screen to attack and either finish or penetrate and kick. That was a little bit of a difference tonight. Geneva hung around thanks to some offensive rebounds off missed free throws, cutting the lead to 59-57. Geneva had a shot at tying the game in the final minute, but missed a three-pointer. Getz then hit 5 of 6 from the line in the final 40 seconds to seal the win. Geneva coach Phil Ralston had this to say after the game. He goes, it came down to this. Who imposed their will upon whom? And by and large, their guards, which we said was one of the keys to this game, do not let Gatz and Ludwig have their way with you, and they pretty much did. Gatz led all scorers with 18 points for North. Callahan added 16 and Ludwig with 13. Justin Durant and Nate Navigado each scored 14 points to lead Geneva. Chris Pirelli scored 11 points off the bench, and Pace Staples added 10 for the Vikings. That's all we have from St. Charles North basketball news. Come out and support St. Charles North tonight at East Aurora, and they play East Aurora at 7:15. Be there. Support your Stars. Hi, and welcome back. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for listening to Hanson Sports Talk Radio. This show was basically focused on basketball, and that's the way we're going to keep it for the rest of the season. Basketball talk. Thank you. Signing out, Christian Hansen. Go North Stars. Beat East Aurora tonight.